Hello YouTube, this is Morgan Bannon or Airspeed Prime here. I'm the site's super moderator for Avatar The Last Airbender Online, and this is going to be a video response to Callum Fryer or Badger Mole 1's video review of 101 The Boy in the Iceberg. And first of all, I'm going to start off by saying thank you, Callum, for linking to the site, talking about it, and talking about my channel as well. I will definitely mention your channel in one of my Airspeed Discusses videos. And I suppose I might as well get straight into my review. Some of you may know I do episode commentaries on my channel, and the reason I'm doing video response to a review is because I feel like sometimes in my video episode commentaries that I get kind of too focused on what's happening in the episode rather than what my thoughts on the episode are. So this review may get out some extra thoughts that I didn't get in them. So 101, The Boy in the Iceberg, obviously the first part of a two-parter opening the show. And as Callum mentioned in his review, there's not a whole lot to say about what happens in the episode because it is very explanatory. It tells you exactly what's happening. There's not much thought, insight to really put into the episode because it is just an introduction into the characters, into the Avatar world and stuff like that. And it does that very well. It's a perfect introduction to the characters, and why I think it's so good is because they don't do a thing that some other shows may do where they throw you straight into the biggest world, the biggest city in the Avatar world, bending absolutely everywhere. You see everything at once. But rather they start off very slowly in one of the most isolated places in the Avatar world, the Southern Water Tribe, where there is only one bender there, and it is. We start off with a kind of family torn apart by the war, with Sokka and Katara's mother was killed in one of the raids, and their father has to go out and fight in the war, which brings up the extended opening for this episode that is only seen in this episode. This does a perfect job of straight in first 2 minutes of the episode presenting the Avatar world to us. There's a war on. It's been going on for 100 years. The Avatar, the name of the show, is missing, and you get the feeling that they don't know, and you wonder, you sort of wonder where is he, and you also get the explanation about Katara and her hope. That's her kind of key character thing, and she believes the Avatar will return. And then we see the hill that usually has Aang on it for the other episodes is not there, which is a neat little bit of continuity. First episode, Aang not on the hill, but after that, when they discover him, he is there. And so yeah, the introduction of the characters. Katara, it's all about hope for her. She is looking for something to give her hope that the world can return to normal. And when she finds Aang, she finds that in that he can bring her to the Northern Water Tribe to learn waterbending. She is the only waterbender, and then that gives you an insight into the cruelty of the Fire Nation. And then with Sokka, you also get the fact that he is not as affected by the loss of his mother as Katara is, but rather his deal is with his father leaving. And when you get the backstory on why he is this way, in that you understand that Sokka kind of fully doesn't understand what his kind of father meant until they have that kind of big reunion. And then Aang introduced as, not as the Avatar, but you sort of get the feeling straight away that he is hidden away for 100 years in ice, and he doesn't tell them. And that whole thing about why he doesn't tell them and he's so nervous whenever they mention it to him is really interesting in the episode. And then the final thing really to say about this episode is that it's always interesting to look at the contrast between where the world is presented to you in the first episode of a series and the last episode of a series, 101 to 321. We are presented to, you have to look at the main three characters here, Aang, Sokka and Katara. Look at where Aang goes as a character, from not running away, not wanting to be the Avatar, kind of afraid that he won't be able to fulfill his duty as the Avatar, to, at the end, ending the war becoming the fully realized Avatar, he's able to keep his beliefs and still be the Avatar. You look at Sokka, his father is proud of him and always has been. He goes from being a guy who thinks he's a great warrior to being a great warrior. And he fulfilled his duty of protecting his sister, and stuff like that. With Katara, it is more about her journey of kind of finding hope. She found hope in Aang, and then the way that it kind of goes back and forth between those two, she gives Aang hope whenever he's kind of down, especially after the loss of Ba Sing Se, and stuff like the Serpent's Pass when he's lost Appa. And we see their relationship between Aang and Katara develop, and how her having so much like hope in Aang has helped him to fulfill that duty, and kind of like her hope is done in a way. He has helped the world and thus helped her. And that's really interesting to look at the show, the incredible journey that the characters go on. And I guess the final note on animation, what's interesting about this show is that 321 is just an incredible piece of animation, some of the best you'll ever see from any show. But even if you go back to 101, which, they were still getting used to the art style, it's still amazing animation. Not as good as 321, but still stunning. Like, there's not that many errors you can point out in 101 compared to 321. So that is my review of 101, The Boy in the Iceberg. Incredible introduction to the show, and that's pretty much it. Thank you, bye.